Good morning, London. Friday morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Last day of the week. Let me switch this off. How is it going? Coffee time. Make sure I have enough coffee here to last me enough time. So, it was an interesting session yesterday. Waited for one trade specifically, and it won it suddenly. After 4 hours, it finally presented itself. And now it's Friday, TGIF. So let's go over it. Let's go over some scenarios that I think could play out, but then again, it's Friday. Always surprised on Friday. I think I'll spend more time on NQ, so we'll start quickly with gold again. I just wanna, if anyone here is in gold, yeah, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I'll go to a higher time frame. Yeah, gold has been expanding for such a long time, so it's it's gonna take a while in the area to stay in. So I'm just not interested too much in those levels. Now we do have an opening range gap obviously, that is only filled 50%. Let me show you, that's this gap here, Wednesday 5th November. So if we go down, I would imagine that we would go down a little bit to 1/3 quarter, maybe even a full fill, because we have some end dogs below us. So on Friday, I do use the end dogs a little bit. You don't see me use them a lot, but on Friday, especially when it gets more, I think price action a little bit more challenging on Friday, so I do use them on Friday, because you need to just zoom in a little bit more sometimes on the charts. But another thing I want to comment on gold and why I'm not really interested at the moment is the following. Let me go back to the 15 on this one here. This is the full weekly range, those green dashed lines. You can see already back up 80% almost in the full weekly range, right? So depending, and you can also apply I have an inverted TGIF logic. Sometimes that makes sense. So this is an automated indicator that I made. So I'm just trying it out just to see if it gives me more insight. But what I would do now is I would actually invert the, let me just do that on my own. The logic that you can apply, because I think it's very wise to put the TGIF levels on your chart on Friday and Thursday. So that means 20, 30, 40% of the weekly range. Because it's sort of like always, even if we don't have a TGIF, those levels are significant. Let me put it on the chart. Now, the only thing, if I do it manually, I have to be aware if we extend the range because we take out a low or high, you have to adjust the your TGIF levels, right? But I guess that makes sense if you have an IQ higher than 50. So here you see 80%. So yeah, now what you see here, what's going to happen on with gold. I wouldn't be surprised if the price hangs out this area. It might go over it a little bit, but then it goes to the range or whatever. So for me, like I said, because we're also in a higher time frame consolidation area, it's a little bit off limits. But if it does go back down to this area, and as you can see, gap that other one, you go below the 50%, you go back to the 30 and 20% right over here, right? So if you want to trade gold, this is the range that I would just look into. That from here, that's the max. A bit much more room. It might be interesting to play around in that area if there's a good solid setup, but that's all I would look at. So no large extension moves that I like. Well, to be honest, this would be a nice move though, but it has been low resistance, like a low, higher low, higher low. It looks like trend line. It does look nice. But like I said, I'm not too interested at the moment. But I will keep an eye on it and go over the chart. Now back to NQ. NQ, NQ, NQ. So NQ took out the low in Asia, which is, we've seen that now a couple of times, which is quite unusual. And it took out on this level here, the yellow line is a 50% level of a premium weekly wick. Let me show you. Obviously, I don't trade in Asia because I sleep, but that will be a nice it's weekly wick that ICT has taught us in its latest videos, and they are gold. So this wick here, and this wick went to it, and we went into 50%. So premium discount. So you can consider that. So I was looking at this yesterday. All the time I said, well, I'm actually want to have a long. But then we had a different sort of setup, but it wasn't as, I was really hoping we would have this here, but it did in Asia, and now we have, I guess, a little bit more of a reversal, so to speak, on NQ. So that happened, that's all this move from here, right? So this is a low being taken, and it's going up. We most likely have S&T there as well. Let me check at 11. Yeah. S&T there. We had earlier S&T, so it wasn't really clear. Not really. Well, we just took out. Well, I mean, it just took out the initial. Okay, there was no S&T. Okay, so interesting. Okay, but anyway, now what, right? So now there are a couple of scenarios that I could think of on Friday. Either we go back down and we take out no, and then we get a TGIF. Hello, Didawasa, how are you? We go back further down, we take another low, and then we get a TGIF, or we just keep on going to the downside and, because look at the 4 hour. Let's see how the weekly, look at the weekly, how the weekly is presented. If we go below the 50%, the body again, then we really have to start looking at the daily. So that 50% level is very important for us to see if we do not go lower body wise, right? The daily here, it's difficult to read, to be honest. If I look at the higher time frame, I think this is now see how I'm going to behave this week. I'm going to grade this one. See how high. I think we're going higher, but then again, we also could go down further again because it's TGIF, right? It's Friday. So I'm going to grade this wick here because I do believe we are a slightly higher, maybe even much higher, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, so for now I'm gonna get rid of these because I'm gonna leave them on anyway because we need the levels if we slam down again. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this on and see how we are going to behave. Then if we go higher than this, I have to reassess. But for now, playing field on and Q. Let's see how high we're gonna go on the 4 hour. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah. So this is the area we are how much range of. About 200 points we can look at, and then reassess. So, but yeah, gold is, I just don't want to touch gold too much now. So again, for me, what is very interesting to watch is, so how are we behaving in the weekly? So these are the percentage of the weekly range, right? 20%, 30%. And what's very interesting yesterday, what I noticed, let me go to the 15 on this one here. Yesterday we touched here. What was it? No, it wasn't here. Where was our trade? Our trade was here it was here. So I looked at that, hit exactly my 2.5 standard deviation before it went down. And this was exactly, this point here was exactly the 20% at that time. Obviously now we took a low, so the 20%, the range, the weekly range has extended a little bit now, because when we did that here, this was the low, the weekly low, and now we have the weekly low. Exactly, it tapped exactly in the 20% and rejected it. So that's also very important information to tell you, oh, we're not going back, we're not going into the weekly range, so we're going lower again. So that gave me the information, okay, if we reject here, I got actually tired. I think I did a 5-hour stream. I was really waiting this straight, and look, it just tapped into 2.5, and then it went further back down, and then it took out another low. So, but now obviously the weekly, the 20% is here. So I'm looking at this level here also to see, like, are we going to reject that, or are we going to into the 20 in the TGIF range? So that's how you also play around with those ranges. They're very significant, especially on Thursday and Friday, and they give you a lot of information of. So if it already goes like TGIF just means the weekly candle is retracing back 20, 30, 40%. So for me, it's also, if this is the low we're going to make, and we're going into this area here, are we going to make another low, or are we already going into the range? Because TGIF doesn't have to happen in the afternoon. It can already happen now, right? And then you could have a very shitty day with only consolidation within the range. So that means the range is then 20 to 40%, right? Still 200 points you can play around with. So that's what I'm looking at now. So what's going to happen? Are we going to into the range, or are we going to make another low and then then a new retracement? So that's, I think, for NQ. And then again, we could just spike up all the way back, and then the reverse will be in play. Something I guess I don't know if it's just sort of like you just inverse the levels, and then those levels are also quite significant, because we do have some highs here, and also we made these ones. Remember these? Here's this one as well. We've got these here as well. So, I don't know. But it's quite a bit of a move, I guess. It's a little bit too much, maybe. But nothing surprises me anymore. So nothing surprises me anymore, to be honest. Anyway, so for now, what are we going to do? We're just going to watch and see if we can frame any nice trades. I'll go back to the 3-minute here. So I'm at dogs right now because I think I need a little bit more information. I tend to only use them on Friday for some reason. I don't know why. I do use the, hey Jordy, the trader, how are you doing? How's it going? I would love to hear your guys' analysis, or if you have any thoughts on gold or NQ. So we just finalized some make a buy model. So I think I just want to wait a little bit. And for some people that are with me from the beginning, it's only 2.5 months. I've been tracking the 150 to 210 macro, and it's very funny. Now again, we have this green line is the opening range gap of the afternoon session, so after 1:30. And a lot of the time, there was a time that it was always around the 150 to 210 macro was always around that that first percentage fair value gap. And so I made a video on it. I'm like, oh my God, I found, I discovered something. And, but then after I made that video, because it was like 2 full weeks, every single day almost, it gave like an entry around this. So I was, okay, so that time works together with that time, it's 12-hour range. But then after that, I think it's just a cycle, right? They just This is all cycles. So I think we're back into that cycle. So that's interesting. So let me mark 150 to 210 macro. And is this here to... Oh, I need to go because I need to do it on the 1 minute. It's more exact. Hold on. I need to do it on the 1 minute. 3 minute. Here we go. $50 to 210. I'm gonna track it again because we had daylight savings, so you need to adjust the time to it. I'm always wondering if that with an hour change, if it's also an hour. Not bad. Waiting for a rundown to the 1 hour fair value gap. Watch it reactions for a potential TGIF setup, but it doesn't. I'm good. Don't want to turn a green week into a bad. Exactly. We do not want that. We rather have patience and have a good week. And that's something I'm really working on my patience and not giving back any money. So yes, I totally agree, and that's why I'm watching. Like, because we made a low already in Asia, right? It was very unusual. We had the same thing last week, which was also quite unusual. So this low created, but why I remember this yellow line is the 50% of the weekly. So I'm sure if we're going to go further down, this might be the low, and we're going into the TGIF. So that's why I'm saying that, are we going to make another low, or are we going to hang out, and are we doing the TGIF right now? Because I'm sort of like almost starting to think that we are. I wouldn't be surprised if we're already making the TGIF low, because it does. Well, do we have equals? It does get liquidity, right? Looking. Let me go to the 15-minute here. What else do we have here? So Jordi you are looking for the 1 hour fair value gap. But waiting for a rundown. You mean a run up to the 1 hour, or a run? You mean the fair value gap box here? You run up to the higher. So the problem that I have with that, if you're talking about the higher one, let me go over some scenarios. If we would go up into that 1 hour, then we're already at 30% of the weekly range level. 25, 30 here. And if we would go higher, we would go here. 95. Hey, Metro Z, how are you doing? Yeah, I was wondering, where is he? By Friday at least, how's it going? Yeah, we're doing awesome. Had some awesome sessions, working on the patients, less trades, but we had a really good analysis session going on. And now we're going over the Friday possible TGIF setups and if what we're going to might be able to see right on this. Again, Mether in Asia, just like last week, and Q made a lower low. And yeah, I'm curious to see what is going to happen now if we're going to go. These gradients are daily premium wick, so I want to see how it's going to react. And then we'll have to see if we're going to go back lower to make another low, or we're going to go into the TGIF range and be a range bound day. So no positions yet, guys. No positions yet. Around the 2085-ish, that's the midpoint of that gap. I see Asia swept the lows as shallow returns into the gap, maybe a potential long. Around 2085. Let me see. 2085. Around 2085, that's the midpoint of that gap. Oh, you look okay. I got you. Okay, but is that a 1 hour? Let me just. I'll go on this one. You know, I think if we're going to the upside, this might be the breakaway gap. So maybe we might get into this area. We also don't have any inversion on the 1 hour, so only it is gap, so that there are imbalances there, obviously. But I wonder if we surpassed it and go over the 20%, if we just don't go higher. But we didn't have any S&T. We just took S&T, guys, because oh, here we go. Where is S&T? Okay, we have S&T here. See, and this was a false one, exactly in this area. This is a false one. Now, if you see a gap like this on 15, which is going through a wick, it is an important gap. So this is on ES. Let's see on NQ. We have a similar setup. Now it is of significance because we did go through it here. Midnight here. I don't know. Even we might go. It looks very bullish to me, to be honest. I'm getting bullish shots here. Breaker. Yeah, Jordi, listen. I'll tell you honestly. I've been doing a lot of streaming this week, and it is. You know, I'm starting to really appreciate the price action. Also, just going over it, looking at it, and trying to find the algorithmic signatures, which are a little bit different for me because well, price action is different, and I'm really starting to enjoy it, to be honest, even though it's not favorable for my setup sometimes, and I really have to wait a long time for one trade. But when it gives that trade, it's still a good trade. So yeah, I agree with you. It's still and I love it that the people that join here are also you know, we just like to learn, and we don't need to be in a trade all the time. Obviously, that's the goal, to get better in trades. But I do really feel that, especially this week, I noticed I thought, okay, you know, I wasn't doing a lot of trading, but people will still hang out and just chat, and we were still going over, you know, the charts. And that made me really happy, to be honest. So I guess that's the, you know, not the, oh, give me signal, give me signal, give me signal crowd. Oh, I think my light is not working anymore. What are you doing? Hold on. Oh, there we go. You stay on. I need light. There we go. So yeah, we wait for A plus we wait for A plus setups, right? And if there's no setup, we just help. I think it's also good. You guys help me to stay patient, and you know, I hope also that the stream is there to, you know, help us to recognize unfavorable price action, just to go over things and just, you know. So I guess that was that how I was thinking about it. If I start a YouTube channel, what do I want to what do I want it to stand for? And this is one of those things. Yeah, we are. Well, I'm a nerd. I can, guys. I've been doing long sessions, but not because I'm just like, oh my god, I need to. I can sit, I can sit behind the charts and analyze it for hours. I really enjoy it, and if I my journaling is also taking a lot of time because all the paper trades that I took yesterday on stream, I journal them and I go, okay, what happened there, and okay, my execution was there. How can I improve it? I really look for that improvement. Okay, how could I get a better R to R? And especially if I move my stop too fast, those little things. And I really look at time. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm starting to share a little bit more on that. Like if we don't have proper discount premium because we're not going into the range, I use time a lot for premium and discount. So, and I think I have enough data now to start sharing it a little bit more. So I've been doing that on stream as well, like retests of specific time zones and time lines. So that's why you'll see time on my chart as well. So yeah, we're nerds, and we're looking for more nerds to join the family, right? So we can be nerds together, and not feel awkward. I love it. Yeah, I love. I mean, I love how the community is growing, and that's why I haven't been very active in the Discord yet. But I just mainly for me the Discord is just to also be able to communicate together. Outside YouTube time, right? So we can also go over specific things if we want to. So that's for me the main thing of the Discord, and also for you guys to be able to talk and to share stuff. Not only me. But anyway, we're in consolidation again, and I'm starting to like consolidation more and more. What time is it? 3:12. Let's see. But for now, I'm interested in this 20% level here, which is 380, 383, and I want to go on the lower time frame to see if there's any significance there. Obviously, we do want to have a trade, right? We do want to catch a trade. But I don't think, so yeah, I had time versus premium discount. Oh, hey, listen, it's time over anything. Time is for me the most important thing. And for people that are new here, why is time more important? Because the algorithm is scripted against time. It is not price. That is because price can be manipulated, time cannot be manipulated. So especially specific times, what happens at specific times? The algorithm just creates an imbalance, or it creates liquidity, or it takes out liquidity. And it needs a benchmark to refer back to. So that's the only thing when I say, oh, I trade time, it's just because time is for me related to the algorithm, because that's the only way how they can script the algorithm and manipulate. So also for me, I am going. Yes, I do. I've been trading basically London and New York. It is that I have to sleep, otherwise I most likely will be on the charts on Asia as well. But I cannot. I need my sleep. But I'm going to make a T-shirt. I love wicks because wicks are manipulation, and there's so much information in them. And you'll see me grade a lot of wicks. And when ICT gave that last two in the 3 weeks ago, he started revealing that premium discount wick things. Those are these lines here. Oh my God, that was for me just such a big, well, I mean, look, there's 50%. I'm just going to show you guys again because that's why I'm not sure where to go down anymore. Because look at this weekly wick here. This wick here. Here we go. This large. Asia, we took out the low here and it's below 50%. So that is the premium discount that you need to go back up, right? So that's we do have a gap here. This one is significant. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna mark this one here. Well, it's an annual, but this is a 50% of this wick here, and I was hoping we'd get into that yesterday. So um, look at this weekly candle. I mean, how now can this finish? And then we have the week is and walk. I don't know. We'll see. Got there. Yeah. So I'm now I'm using this day wick to see how far up we can go, and this day wick to see how far, and we're gonna go lower from here again. We go. Okay. I mean, I am all the way in South. So you are in South Africa. Are you saying I'm in South Africa as well? Are you in South Africa? You live in South Africa, or are you visiting? Okay, guys. So also, so time. Talking about time. First presented fair value gaps is also time based, right? So hey, Matt, have you noticed the 150 to 210 of the PM session again? I think it's cycles. I think it goes in cycles. Um, but yeah, time. I can talk about time and little nitty gritty stuff all the time. All the time I can talk about time. But so we created first here at the 314 because there wasn't any, and we are. Yes, we're moving up. I think it's a very bullish structure now, right? But let's see how far we're going up into this area. I think 373 we might get a rejection. So I moved to Hoedspruit, but I moved now to KwaZulu-Natal for a year. But so I'm mainly in Limpopo. I love Limpopo. I'm going back to Limpopo. I live in the bush mainly, but now I'm at the beach for a few. Well, I guess for another half a year. But then I'm going back to yeah, to Hoedspruit area. I miss the bush. I miss the animals a little bit, but I like it here. I've got a lot of. I live in a nice area here, but yeah, I will go back to. I love South Africa, by the way. Oh, so you live in Pretoria? Okay, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we have a weird summer here, by the way. It's very cold for summertime. Okay, now I'm not interested in a trade right now because this price action is just you know, it's just hard to frame anything. I'm talking about retests as well. Yeah, I want to see how we're going to go up to 373, reject, or maybe even, I wouldn't be surprised if we reject the 373, so it's 25 points higher. But the good thing at living in Africa or in Europe that we can, we've got I think it's a luxury that we can be on the chart for London session. And, you know, even though there's not a good trade, you gain a lot of intel, which really helps you. Like say, if you don't see a trade, you know, you look at your levels and you're already in, and then, you know, when New York opens, you really are prepared. I love Timbavati. I used to work for Elephants Alive, and Timbavati was the working ground. And when we would just drive, you know, we would track elephants, and we had to drive, but we drive through Timbavati and go to people's farms there. I saw, you know, you see like 12 rhinos together. It was just, I think I've seen the best things in Timbavati. Timbavati is awesome. If I could live there, I would live there. But yeah, Timbavati is just, I think Timbavati is one of the most, it's just awesome. really. It's magical. And they're all connected to Kruger. They all have open gates with Kruger. Balule, Timbavati, but I think Timbavati is one of the best. Yeah. Okay, so 320. I like this placement because it sets up the stage for maybe a. I'm trying to fix my lights. I think it's over and done with. It's dead. Okay, well. Yeah, Timbavati is near Hoedspruit, correct? Yes. But listen, we had to drive to a farm, and then you drive to Timbavati, but then on Timbavati itself, it took about 2.5 hours to get to the farm if it was all the way at the end. And then technically, we still say they live in Hoedspruit. Yeah, yeah. Bush life, bush life. Yeah, that's why if I go back to the bush, the Wi-Fi is a bit of an issue, so I still have to. So here I'm very, here I've got fiber. So that's also I'm thinking about, right? So okay, maybe I should just focus on this for a while, stay here, and then when I know for sure that I can get that sorted properly, then I can go back there. So. Okay, so the purple dotted line is the event horizon between two end dogs, not end walks, but end dogs. And I just want to see if it's respecting it, and it's not, right? It's already going down. So, but look at this. Actually careful because it means action block now. So it. Yeah, yeah. I think we need Starlink and stuff like that. But I'm sort of like hoping that they can get to a thing with Elon and solve that, so that we can have Starlink and stuff like that, right? Because if you're already in the bush, it's sort of like difficult to get good Wi-Fi, but it's possible. Jordi, I don't know yet, to be honest, because we did hit that 50% of that level, and I just wanted to see a little bit higher to go lower, but I think we will know in a bit. If we go below this 25,196, then I'm definitely bearish for the rest of the day. But like if you see all these wicks, right? We have a 4-hour wick here. That means it's not liquidity. This is a rejection. So, like I say, 4-hour candle now took out this high. So let's say it goes down. Most likely we'll grade this 4-hour candle here, and I would expect a rejection from here back to here. So what I expect now to happen is rejection block to rejection block, rejection block to rejection block. One of two will become the liquidity, and then I will. But now I think we can. Well, let me grade this one, and you can see it happen. So I love 4-hour candles. Here you go. So this 4-hour will most likely end up in one of these levels here. So I do not expect it to go all the way down, but most likely. And let's see if it stays above this 50% line. So what I'm going to do now is wait to let this calm down, so see, I missed this move now. That's okay. It's 324. I love my 4 o'clock, 350, 410 macro is coming, so I'm not worried. We still have some room to the downside. So this now that my here comes that test I was looking for. Let me go to the 1 hour on this one. But you see, large wicks are for me. I mean, they're my roadmap. I love wigs. It's not a joke, guys. I'm really gonna make a T-shirt. I love wigs. Because everybody says, "Oh, wigs do the damage and bodies tell the story." No, for me, the wigs tell the story. The wigs gives me the the the. Well, I mean, the rejection block is my favorite PD array with a breaker, but so I love large wigs on. Well, I don't like these. I'm not like destroy it. So, but on this I do like. I don't like this. Let me rephrase. But for me, tell me, I see a wicker. I know. Okay, I cannot expect too much. My distribution trades are not going to be there yet because it will most likely go back and forth between one or two to break some point. But until then, these both are rejection blocks. It will to these levels. If I can make myself clear, if that makes sense. I love big wigs. I would rephrase it to I love large wigs, I guess, but I don't know if people that don't trade were like, what does she mean? What is she talking about? It might sound a bit weird for some people, but hey, I love them. The bigger, the better, right? Yeah, I'm really going to think, and I think I should stream with. I think maybe I should do something with my channel name, but we'll see. I think they don't get the acknowledgement they deserve. Everybody, talked down on wigs, and I think we should be nicer to them. It's like, oh, they do the damage, and they are so negative. Gosh, I miss my light is not working anymore. I need to have a new light. Why are you not stop? You're Chinese BS. You go on and off. Stay on. I need good lighting because I'm getting older. Cannot reveal my age on. Okay. It's China. Made in China. Hey, Dottie K, how are you doing? How's it going? How are you doing? If anyone is interested, I know ICT is doing something on Saturday, so I was thinking like maybe doing a small session on if people are interested on Saturday or Sunday, preferably then after ICT to go either over what he was talking about. It's just an idea that I have, but if people have Dot, Dottie, no, you're from France, right? Yes, TGIF. So, Dottie, talking about TGIF, we took out the low on NQ in Asia at 11 o'clock, which also, again, happened last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, which is quite unusual. And the weekly range, I already have it on my right chart. As you can see, 20% is here, 30% is here. So I'm wondering, because we took up the low, what's happening, but we're going into that 1 hour and that 1 hour FUG Jordy was talking about. So let's see if we respect it, or if we're just gonna blast. Oh, I just wanted to say we're gonna blast it. Look at that. Let's see. Because Jordy, those levels that are graded, right, are below that fair value gap. So I'm wondering if we're respected actually. So this might be a good. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised we're going to go all the way. I think I disrespect it. Uh, 3:30, and we are now at the event horizon of the two end dogs. We hit a 25% level here. I want to have the 4-hour on. It just gives me a little bit more clarity at the moment. Yeah, we took. Yeah, it looks like I think we're going to respect that fair value, guys. I think we're going to go lower. 3:30. Is there an entry on the 1 minute? I think it's just gonna. I think we're just gonna go all the way down into 350, all the way to this area here. 25. So you're in a short. If it goes below this dotted line, you're good to go. Ooh, then it's just gonna drop like a falling knife. Yeah, it's gonna go into the zone here. It's gonna do this whole one. It's falling. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to go, so that's at 1 hour. Yeah, so I think it's going to disrespect that fair value gap, and because we are, it's showing very, and then it's going to be, and then we'll see what happens. But if it's disrespected, that might very bearish already. Let's see. It's still above this. So this level, that dotted line that you see, that's the midpoint between two NWOGs. That is a very strong point liquidity. So it could be that holds here. You see this dotted line? It's midpoint between here and here. And that's here, exactly here. And now that's where it's bounced off right now. You see, that's why I don't use end dogs a lot, because it's so significant. I'm gonna switch them off. I don't use them so much. It's just the okay. Now, what are we going to do? We do have a change in state delivery. We do have a higher close, but into this bearish order block. We went here. Let's go to the 4-hour again. Into this week. Are we going to get a bullish? It's going to be candle. So are we just not going further than 50% of this one? Let me see where the 50% of the body is. Okay, we're below it already. Let's see, we say below. Just around half of it. Okay, we are below it. Yeah, okay, it's gonna drop. Yeah. Okay, so the order block is not going to hold for this block. Okay. So the moment it really goes below this level here, I think we can be more safe in our bullish bias. Let's see what's going to happen. So this is also 5% fair value gap of the midnight session. So if we go lower than this one as well, guys, looking at accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we are in distribution. I'm starting to turn a little bit bearish, Andre. But it's a little bit tricky, the area. Let's see what the OTE zone is. Oh, what the hell? What happened there? There we go. This is a level that it can bounce off here because of the event horizon of the two NWalks. But we are below 50% of the bearish order block, so I think it's going to drop. But we'll see. I think we're wrong. OTE small. Yeah. Let's wait. Yeah, I'm bearish. I'm not bullish anymore. This is in this area, and you know why? It's also still, even if it would drop in these levels, it's still OTE levels. So it could still be bullish and drop all the way into this level, all the way up to here, and still be bullish. So I actually want to get in, but I can't. I have to wait. But if you're in a short already from here, yeah, I think it's good. You might have some retracement, but I think this will be. I left this one here because I already thought this one is an inversion of significance, and again, it had a lot with my trade already. This one on here, and the midpoint is exactly 0.62. It matches up with my level here, so I would say 235. Yeah, but I'm not in it. And it's a distribution move, and I'm a distribution, so I do get a little bit upset when I'm not in a distribution trade like this, because this is my bread and butter a little bit, but it's okay. I'm a little bit annoyed though. I always am, but I do notice that if I miss them, there always is a good opportunity afterwards, and my light is up again. Let's see. And also price doesn't go in one straight line. So we have the 4 o'clock, the 350 to 410 is coming as well. So you know, we might get a nice retracement, and then I can target this area. Okay, so talking about time again, and using time as a just looking at the 1 minute here. That's really. So, for example, you have the first specific fair value gap of 3 a.m. right? So if London opens, this is the first presented fair value gap because there was just consolidation, and then you have the manipulation to the upside, right? A and D. Now the candle here forms here, and you have the manipulation right above it, but there's not really the 1 minute you don't see a clear read, just that it goes straight through it. So technically what you want to see is that but you don't see it. On the 3 minute, what do you see here? It forms it, and then the next 3 minutes, boom, into it, and it runs away, right? So sometimes you need to, it's sort of get to see the how they are different in price, but you know, I think we're going to get a nice entry for the 352 for the 410 macro. Now, 0.38 could be enough for it to go back. If you have like a really bullish structure, it doesn't need to go 0 to 0.5. It could also just take out 0.38 and go back up, but it's a little bit unlikely in this case. You know, we are in this 1 hour gap. Or we go lower. I think if we go lower, we are going lower. But let's see. And we are actually also the first presented of after midnight, right? So I use that one as well. Hey, we've got more here. Do we have SMT? SMT, 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 not SMT, not on. So this was false, right? This was a false one. We don't have SMT now. Maybe at 3, 4. I'm hoping that we get some SMT. Maybe. But if there's no SMT, I think we're just going to continue down. We have one here. We've got midnight here, and then we created another low. Reject here. It looks too bullish to me. It just can't be bearish if I look at the 15. It just doesn't make sense. Okay. The daily candle, are we going up first into this area here? Are we going to go higher here first? Daily, we're going to go up. Daily, we took out liquidity already. It doesn't make sense to go lower now from here. We're going to go up, but it does not have to. It's a little bit like, you can frame it both ways, because sometimes you don't have to go deeper into it and go down if it's a continuation. Let's say we have a continuation on the daily downside. This could be enough, but it could also go higher and then go down, right? So it's a little bit hard to read because of the on the daily here. This area, because this is a bullish order block, right? So you want to we're into this, so we could project higher, which is a 50% level of that weekly wick. So this would give me bullish vibes, like we're going into there here. But on the lower time frame, I'm also bearish. So we just have to wait. Like I said, this level is very important, the 25,196. So it's 100 points lower. 25,196. Okay. I'll go back to the 4 hour here. You know, also why it's a little bit difficult to read at the moment. This 4-hour candle, it took out external liquidity, but also it's in internal liquidity now, right? Because this high took out this high. Oh no, it's not external. We're still on Thursday. This is not really take out external. It's just Thursday. It started on Thursday, so we're internal liquidity up. This is a 1-hour candle. So always event horizons are very important. You see it does give some 0.38. I can frame it both ways at the moment. I can frame it both ways. So that means shorter trades, no so are you going to go up higher and maybe up to here? So we hit 0.5. We hit that level on the weekly. That is significant. So maybe we should be more bullish than bearish at the moment. Let's see how it behaves in the London one. Just have to wait a little bit. Did someone go for a long in that fair value gap? Because I think that's it makes sense, right? It hit a bullish fair value gap, which is also here represented of midnight. So it is a significant level. It's also 38% of the OTE level. Jordi, are you in a long? Because it's your level, right? I mean, I think it would have been a good trade all the way from here to here. And then we have 2 contracts on, take 1 off. Daily open. It's going to resist here. Method, yeah, you're not sure either, yeah. Well, we know what we do. We don't. And also, this could be the manipulation move. Right? I mean, that's sometimes also it's a manipulation. But what if this manipulation move A and D? It makes sense because we got 50% of the weekly range. We're in a bullish fair value gap. We hit 38%. We did we test breaker? Let me see. Did we? Yeah, we did. I missed that. Look here. Breaker retest. God damn it. Breaker is it in a macro? Not in a macro. Okay, that is and no SMT, guys. This was actually what also I had a three L's and there was no SMT. So even though, but there is a breaker retest here. Low, high, lower low. It took liquidity. We activated the breaker here. at midnight, and we retested it here, but not in a macro, no S&T. And yesterday that was significant all the time. So what I noticed that it did give a move up, but not really a push through. But then again, it's hard to not be bullish, but I'm also still bearish, so I am conflicted at the moment. Ah, 351. Do we have a bearish figure here? But this is not a convincing either. Maybe we should scalp long. Just maybe we're going higher to this level here. 351. What was the 1 minute candle? What did we do? Was it down? Yes, I like that for. Okay, here we go. Retest. Boom. 44. If we go above the daily open, we can. If we have a body close. So talking about time, I want to see a retest then, because I didn't enter. I want to see a proper retest. I want to see a wick through it and a body above it. I'll start with a paper trade. See what this is for me bearish. I see this behavior. This I don't trust this for a bullish trade. I want to see above it and a wick through it, and in a macro. I'll show you when it presents itself. So now I use time because I missed the breaker entry here, for example. Breaker retest. Inversion here. But look, I like this. This is not bullish. It doesn't look bullish to me. For a bullish entry, I want it the other way around. And then preferably one above, and then another candle, and boom, then a wick, just and then up. Let me show you, if I can show you an example. No. Well, let's see. It could still do it, but then do we have SMT on 15? Oh, thank you. Where is my... Oh, we do. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, but it's false now. Okay, it's false because we already went over it. Okay, this one is, yeah. Here. Oh, hold on. I need to go to the 15. Thank you, Mether. I missed that one, but this is an important one. 315. Yeah, I don't know what's behaving here. We could see, yeah, it doesn't behave like it's bullish. We might get a spike up, but I just don't know if it's sustainable. It's not bullish to me. I also have this here, this gap. 355. Yeah, I don't trust this behavior here. This is bearish to me. And even though if it might spike up, I still don't trust it because it might just give it, because we got a devil's mark here. It could give just a wick here, just go up inside this area and then go back down or something like that. So I'm not touching this area now. It's really I have to wait because I don't see I don't see the algorithmic signatures that I'm looking for. The algorithmic that I see are actually bearish, bullish. But then again, it looks very not to be trusted. Quickly have a look at, ooh, look at that ugliness. Untradeable. Yeah. But it's very tricky. It's a tricky area, right? Because you're in a bullish value, you get to 50% of a weekly premium discount wick. But we're in a value here on the 1 minute. We've got a devil's mark here. On the 4 hours, we are between two large wicks. One wick here, one wick here. So we need to wait. Thank you, Mether, for the letting me know about the NQ and the ES SMT, because I think it's very important. I think it's a large one, and look how we are now. Reacting, right, on the 15-minute, on the SM. It looks like S&P will go down, right? Oh. So we have one cafe. So later today, I'm meeting a friend, and we have one cafe here, and it's called FOMO Cafe. I mean, you cannot make that up, right? There's one cafe here that's called FOMO. Hey Jesse, are you a gold trader? I don't like gold at the moment, but is it a buy? Yeah. Well, I would be careful here because we're at the market maker. You know, it was consolidation, so we're almost at the end. So I would be careful here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good area to maybe even 1419, 4021-ish, yeah. Yeah, I would say max 4021, but I would not go further than the first presented fair value gap. Oh shit. Nice. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about gold now. I'm waiting for it to get out of this. Oh shit! Let me show you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I started trading gold a few weeks back for the first time, and I loved. I mean, I was quite surprised about it. But let me show you. I really wanted to get out of this range here. This is that 4-hour. This 4-hour FUG, and pressure to start trading it again. And we do have a lower opening gap, which is unfilled. So I'm really waiting for to take either these levels. I'm not really interested. And you're also now in a rejection block, right? So I would really, yeah, I think 21 will be my max. Hey, Eugene, how are you? I don't use volume profiles. No, I don't. I just use time, basically just time. And I actually want to be ahead of when the volume gets in. How are you doing, Eugene? I saw it. Where did you saw that one? The cafe. But the FOMO cafe is very funny. It's actually a family name. They have like it's an abbreviation of, because I went, what the hell? Are you traders or what? So no, it's a family name. But it's very funny. Yeah. You see here 419-ish. Yeah. Okay, so do you use Volume Pro? I did use TPO charts when a while back, and then I discovered ICT, and then I thought, okay, I'm just going to use that. But I know Volume Profile. I think there is logic to it, but I think when you talk about the low volume nodes, it's like a fair value gap and stuff like that, right? So, but yeah, I know a lot of people that use them, and they're very successful with them. So they do very well. Jesse, do you only trade gold? Do you also trade something else? You haven't traded, well, yeah. I think it's a good week to not trade, Eugene. Most of the streams that I did was a lot of analysis and just going over charts and less trades, definitely. But there were a few good options. But really, like yesterday, I did a 4-hour stream in PM session. I think I didn't have the trade didn't present itself until literally at the end. So there was a lot of waiting, which is, for an impatient person, a little bit of torture in a way. But I guess I'm starting to enjoy it. Yeah, and hey Scott, hello, how are you doing? See, you see how the price action now is behaving, and it's sort of like what I noticed when I started to doubt, like, oh my God, I'm going back and forth, bullish, bearish, and you don't know exactly why. Well, okay, I pointed out the wicks here on NQ, right? You see the price action now? Well, it's 4 o'clock, but where would I enter? I don't see an entry for myself on this entry, to be honest. But I guess we are going into this area now. Is anyone short? I think it's a good short though, but it's it could wick back up again, right? It's not even respecting these levels, going first here and then here. But yeah, but this already gave it away a little bit for me, the behavior in this area. So it's because I don't really see much of structure here. And again, you have a gap here. It could, Now let's see where the 50% of the ranges is right over here. Yeah, I think this little inversion that I still have marked here, I think that you could come and play again. We do have midnight around here, so we might bounce from here, but we also might bounce here because it's the first presented. Yeah, I don't feel any FOMO of not being in this. No, you'll see when I have FOMO. You'll see me starting like getting very nervous, and I want to get in. And I'll make excuses. I can't hide it, and you guys will laugh and you'll call it out. I'm just human. Let's see. Yeah, so the 4 hours not high here, 20%. Let's see if we go up to, yeah, so even the 4 o'clock didn't give a nice, but hey, the 4 o'clock is one of my favorite times. If it doesn't present any normal anything now, it will present something later today because the 4 o'clock comes into play a lot of times on the day. And Method, you know by now, right? I think. Method, do you have the 4 o'clock printed now on your chart? Just curious. Um, well, Scott, yes, the news is supposed to be, but the government is still closed. But I think they still use those times. What time is it? Did they cancel it? At 10 a.m. we still have preliminary consumer sentiment, but there's no. I think they took the NFP off. What time is the NFP now? Let me go back 1 week. Because I still think they still use the time to manipulate and do stuff. Let me go to next month. Let me see. What time would they do it? So we only have the preliminary consumer sentiment and the inflation expectations. Is that today? At 7 a.m. we've got someone speaking. I want to see what happened last month actually on the Friday and the first week. What did we did? Okay. Yeah. So we only have this consumer, which actually last month was actually in the second week, so they did not do it. I don't think that has anything to do with NFP, right? Yeah, there's no news at 8:30, only 10 o'clock. So it's a bit of a bummer, I guess. I would love to see that news, that they use that news candle, but I think it's still good to watch 8:30 to see what happens, because if you get like a bigger move that they could like manipulate a little bit. That's all what they do. News candles just to manipulate to take. Yeah, I would love to just come on, just give something. This is not very nice price action, is it? Just to give us anything. It does not give us anything. We have to wait. We have to be patient. It could go either way. If you're in a trade right now, I would just say it's a gamble. If I would enter a trade now, it would be just a gamble. It would be 50-50 because we've got both wicks on each side. But because of that 50% wick on the weekly, which we took, I'm more inclined to say we're going up a little bit. right? Because of this, the liquidity to here and in Asia, and it's a 50% wick. Yeah, so here you go. Now we are, see, now it's running. Yeah. Wow. See, you see this little gap here? Let's see if it just wicks into it. And if it just, if it doesn't here. You're long? Nice. Macro is almost done. I took out liquidity here. Is there SMT? So if we get over this level here on ES, it's bullish. Okay, now let's see if we're going to get a pullback here, or is it going to go over this and close this one here? Okay. Scott, where's your TP? Now, I do like this here, but it's outside macro again here. So this little, you see this little, if this happens within a normal macro time and then, you know, you start run, then I would like it. You know, it's like the wick, what I'm talking about. That's also like a retest of time. So sometimes when I'm in premium or discount, I still enter a long or a short. And then I use, you know, just different metrics a little bit. But because I just don't feel comfortable with this area, to be honest. But I do think that it's a sort of trade to go back to 3 a.m. 3:15. So when I would enter here, for example, I would just, you know, my like for example, if I would do a retest of time, I would enter like the wick goes through it, and I just mark it, or my TP would just be below the time because my time is at that moment my or this wick, let's say this wick, then that will be my stop loss. So that you've got a very small range, but if it works out, they can be very fast. I like that Asia took previous day low and reversed. Yeah, so that's exactly, and it's also a 50% line of a weekly premium discount wick. So, but I'm sort of like, so for me that's very bullish. That's why I said, okay, that's very bullish because we did take out and we're going in the direction of the levels. But on the other hand, we just have a 15-minute SMT. So I'm sort of like, I just trusted with a 15-minute S&P. We are sort of engulfing this lesson, but I just need more. I just cannot trust it now. I don't know. There is something a little bit off for me. Yeah, I agree with you. Everything you say, I have framed that all the things that's for me also bullish, but I can also frame a few things to the bearish side now. So and then I just know I need to stay out. I would love it to see just to stay above midnight and then just oh no, this will be below midnight. I see. Yeah. Yeah, we could go to this level here. 373. Let's see. Well, yeah, if you look at the mini market model, we can go all the way up to back to 3 o'clock, and then it's fine. Go back down, and doesn't need. It could just also stop here, and then go further back. Could go back into the range, right? Because this is PR. It goes back into original consolidation, which is here. So we do. I do think you're good in that short, right? For the time being, but I will be very hesitant to take it higher from here. It's 4 to 3, so this is like the issue. Let's see, we stay above the daily open. Yeah, it's highly likely it's go to this fair value gap, at least. I think it will use the, yeah, I know that, exactly. I was hoping, I love the 830 data. I use that a lot in some calculations that I do, and especially those news candles. But yeah, but even though they don't present it as news, I think it's still, it might still give the data, right? Because it's just used, they just use it for manipulation. So, 5-minute testers as well. Body's telling the story. I was looking at that 4-hour wick above 440. You're looking at this wick here, 440, yeah. Well, I love, Scott, you weren't here, but I love wicks. I'm going to make a t-shirt because I do hear, if people say, bodies tell the story and wicks do the damage. For me, actually, wicks give me more insight than bodies alone. I will be blind if I don't see the wicks, and because I use the rejection block a lot. So I do see a large as well, which I actually feel very tempted to trade to see how we are behaving. This is a large frame thing that I put, but I want to put on some levels here to see if we do go up in that wick, because I haven't graded this one. Because what you see on this 4 hour between, it's like the price action gets a little bit like back and forth, right? Because it's not liquidity yet; it's rejection block first, right? Before large wicks, there are gaps, and the price action is just balancing out the imbalances, which are gaps. The bigger the wick is, the more imbalances you find on the lower time frame within that area. So that's why you see price stalling and going back and forth, right? So that's why I love large wicks. Like I said, I think it's a t-shirt, yeah. But so I love manipulation is something that I love to be able to identify, because then I can also identify the distribution move, right? So that's why I am very keen on those levels. But let me mark, because I really want to see if we go up. I do think we are going to. We did not even hit 25% here. 0.5. Oh, my voice is breaking. Let me check. Test. That's weird. I think it's the internet, guys. We did have some internet issues. Is it still bad? Let me know. Is it closer? Hold on. Is it still bad, the voice? Let me see if it's my side or your side. Test. Test. Is it still bad, the voice? Let me see if it's my side or your side. My side is okay. Test. Yeah, I don't have any psychic trader. I think it's okay. Maybe it's on your end. So you see, the Scott, with this price action, I do think it's a good. It will go there, but it's just this price action back and forth that sort of like gives me out of it. And when I see large wicks, so for me, wicks tell the story. Why? Because if I see large wicks, this price that I Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, let me know, because maybe I need to look into a better mic, or and figure out if it's the internet, or make some adjustments. But let me know. Keep because I need that feedback. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for letting me know. Because if I do a test, it's okay, but I don't hear it all the time. But it happens, so generally it's fine, but in between you do have some stuttering sound every now and then. Okay. Is it every once in a while, or just because it's annoying? Bad sound is annoying. It needs to be at least most of the times okay, but I appreciate you guys for letting me know. I'll put a little bit softer, because there is background noise now, so I'm going to put it softer and be closer to the mic. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Scott, are you still in that trade? I'm just curious, because I do think it's going to go up into that line, but it's so much back and forth, right? I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna leave this one on because I think it's gonna go up. So in this week, but yeah, guys, I'm really happy that I'm not in a trade, if I may say so. For me, that is just such a, and not feeling FOMO. Even though I'm going to FOMO Cafe in in a few hours, I am just very happy not being in a trade at the moment and just being comfortable. So Scott, yeah, I've been trading ICT-concepts, or no, let me put it that way. I discovered him 3 years ago, and I was doing volume prof or TPO, I should call it TPO charts, and before that only retail BS and just not having any idea what actually was going on. But then I was already at a phase that I was learning some better things, but I was still missing something because I'm really always looking for every logic behind every move and want to really get into the nitty gritty. And that's when ICT, and I was like, okay, well, at first I was like ICT, and someone was, yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. I said, YouTube free? And I was like, okay, well, and then I looked into it, and then I went into the charts, and like, huh? And then I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then when the concept of time became apparent to me, then I got really, really interested. I had a few other mentors as well. They were ICT based, but they went more deeper into time, and that's where I really now have combined ICT logic with even more deeper elements of time-based trading. So literally going deeper into finding the algorithmic signatures, which are obviously time-based. And that's how I think 1.5 years in, I believe, I started to become profitable using ICT. And yeah, but I'm a lifetime student for oh, look at that, my stream element is working. Hey Kiwi Steve, thank you for subscribing. And I did see some other I can see from the numbers that there are other people subscribed as well, so thank you guys, because not everyone shows if they have a restriction on being shown, but thank you, I appreciate it. So in total, but I think in total it's 6 years trading, but then it's just 3 years that I can call myself really getting to know, understanding what's going on, and really starting to be I think my true journey started 3 years ago, that I'm like, okay, now I really it's a foundation. Yeah. But how about you? Yeah, you were stopped out. Yeah. Hey, it's tough price action. When the moment Scott, when I can frame it both ways, I stay out because I know that I never it's for me not but I think now we are going into this area here. So it's tricky, and it's so but also Scott, something that I noticed in my journaling as well, if Asia takes out a low, I don't trust it as much as if it's a weekly low, if we do it in New York, for example. And it doesn't tend to happen a lot, right? That Asia takes out such a significant low. Most of the times it does not. So this one will go in my journal. If we go lower than this low as well, that one will go in my journal as well, because every time it happens, it doesn't hold. Or most of the times it doesn't hold. Let me rephrase that. So we might get a good TGIF, but hey, I'm happy that I'm not in. I would look for long to go to this area and we hit one of these levels, and then we might retrace a little bit up. But hey, I'm happy that I did not anticipate in that price action. And I was thinking, oh my God, it might be a long up. It didn't go even up to here. It didn't go even up into this fair value gap. So price action. Again, people, listen. You see here, and you see a wick here. Yes, wicks do the damage, but they also tell you a story to tell you to stay out, and you stay out until it reaches one of those levels. If you want it to hit a quarter or one, then you either go long or short. You wanted to see it hit one, so I stayed out. I will enter a trade when it maybe hits 25% or 1/3 or even 0.5, and I look on the lower time frame if I can see something else, something of interest, a PD array I'm interested in, and then I can frame a shorter short, not a longer short, because we're just in, I call it wicking ping pong land, but that you look at the TGIF levels. Oh, hold on, sorry about that, guys. Let me go to the 1 hour. Ooh, here. The 2% is here, 30% is here, and the 40% is here. We all know TGIF, the weekly candle will retrace 20 to 30 to 40%. But if we're going to take out another low, obviously the range will extend, right? So, but yesterday at 2 o'clock, we hit that 20%. It was around here because the range was shorter. And we went down, right, to take that low. But now, look at that. So the SMT, guys, SMT, we had SMT on the 15-minute right over here. Another SMT right over here. That would tell you, I didn't see this one as well on time because we were chatting. See, oh, my voice is breaking up again. Ah, shit. Let me do an internet test, guys. I think I might have to buy a new mic. Going to do an internet test. Okay, my internet is good enough. Can't be that. It's a little bit less than normal. It could be the internet. Metro, is it always like this or is it today? I need to know, guys. I don't think the internet is really bad. It looks like it's going. Has been for 1 or 2 weeks. Oh shit. Okay, then that's not good, guys. Let me just. I'm going to do the microphone on and off. Just give me a few seconds. I'm going to I'm going to change. I'm just going to enter it again. See if it changes. I'm going to delete this one. Okay, gotcha. Well, I do test, but then it's okay. So that's so weird. I'm going to put it on. Okay, let me just, I'm going to enter, I'm going to put a new, I'm going to go off. I'm going to stay, but then let me just put a new, maybe it's an OBS something. Hold on. I'll be back in, you'll see me, but you won't hear me. Hold on. Test. Okay, I just entered it again. Yeah, I have to look into that. Okay, is this better, guys? Test. Um, yeah, my laptop has, I'm asking a lot of it at the moment. Test. Um, yeah, my laptop has, I'm asking a lot of. Sounds good. Okay, well, let me just give me some feedback, and this has to do. I can't change it right now. This is it. But just give me the feedback, and then I have to work with it. I have to figure it out. I hope this. I'll see if I can put some things off as well. We did have very bad weather, a storm. So hold on. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna end Google. There you go. Okay. I hope this is better now. Okay, guys. We just have to do with it right now. I will improve it, but your feedback needs to come, and I'll sort it out. But let me know if it's better or not. Just give me some feedback, just to let me know, and then I know what to. I have to ask ChatGPT what I can do. I'm just joking. Help ChatGPT. What do I do? My mic is. Do I need a new mic, or do I need to improve my internet? But thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you're hanging around and supporting me, even though I have a bad mic. So thank you, much appreciated. Okay, but for now, I am very bearish, and okay. Well, just let me know when it's not, and then I know if it's. It could just be a little bit that I need to read. That sometimes I don't really restart my computer, and then I just close it, and then I forget about it. So it could be that. So you need to call me out on those things. And if it's a week already, nobody told me. I don't know. Okay. So now we're in the first percentage fair value gap of midnight. That's the gray one, and it's 0.5. So I do think we're going to have a little bit of a wait here again, and then, but I'm not interested until we hit one of these levels. Even though it's 0.5, it could be enough, right? Because it's OTE, but I do believe we're really going into this wick here. Now where's my phone? I like this, guys. I love these London sessions, and I hope everyone is okay with not being in. Oh no, no, we had an internet breakout up for a while, for one day, and then it was over and done with. So I did not really. And I did a test just now. I still have the internet is working fine. But sometimes there might be a glitch, but I don't think that was it, to be honest. So so just let me know if it's bad. Okay, guys, we are going down. Yes, but we all missed this. I mean, I don't know who was in the trade, but let's see what's happened, and then if it goes into this area, I might frame a long somewhere from here. So I had this first presented already. This was an old first IFUG, and it happens to be 0.62 as well. But we do have midnight here, so let's see how it reacts here. If price is going to react there. I would love it to go in one of these levels, and then who's in a short, by the way? Is someone in that short? Because that's pretty awesome. But it was very difficult. I mean, it was not an easy read. This was here a retest of this nice. So I don't know if anyone uses the 20 to 40 as a macro. You had a nice displacement here, and then you have at 424 and 425, you've got this nice little wick into that. You can technically, when you see something like this, and you have like a retest of an area like this in a 20 to 40, especially in the beginning, and obviously it already disrespected the daily open, it disrespected the 4 a.m. You have this area here, so you can technically take a run to even to 40ish, but because you have this level here, I would stop here because I had this on my chart already. But are you in a short, Eugene, on GC? I'll have a look quickly. But you see here how beautifully it ran, and now midnight. Well, I guess even you can take it to midnight. But I use the 20 to 40 as well for runs, and not as much to take liquidity all the time, but obviously now it did, right? You see, even on those, but it doesn't happen all the time. Most likely it will take it out on the other macro, the 50 to 10 pass, which can also be half after the hour. But on days like this, I do use this time as well to take some runs, especially when I have like some specific points to the downside. And here we go. We're going into that inversion that I've marked. And why I've got that one on my chart, because it hasn't been significant a couple of times, so I leave it on. I'll show you why it's been significant for me. Oh, here we go. So I marked it here already, and so it's been hanging around here, and I'm leaving it on because we will tap into it again. We'll see. So I journal very extensively. So for missing that move, that's okay. But next time I really reverse engineer, like, okay, what happened here? So we went up, we have a nice displacement, we go into it, and then did we tap the 0? No, not yet. Okay. Eugene is in a short. You see Eugene, it's G from 0.8. You see how it tapped right into the 0 point in the TGIF levels, and it just rejected at the 0.2, and it's going back into. I will be a little bit careful here, to be honest. Tricky area. You're right. You're right in between the 20 and 30% from the weekly range. Yeah, I would be careful with that short, to be honest. I don't know. What's your TP, Eugene? Eugene, for me, I just, you know what, I still don't like it because it's in that same range and it's in that 4 hour fair inversion, and I'm just staying out until it leaves that inversion. And mind you that it's went all the way back to 80% of the weekly range. So it just tapped into, yeah, it might just hang out in this area for a long time. I don't know. Okay, well, let's see. NQ. Who took that short? Who took that short on NQ? Did somebody take it? Okay, maybe I'm getting in. I can't get into a long because I really wanted to tap into this area. We have tapped into midnight, but I do think we're going to go lower. What time is it? Okay, so who knows? Maybe for the 5, we got another macro coming. So these, hey Kwang Chu, if I say that correctly, we're still going at it today. We haven't traded yet because price was a bit difficult, a little bit hard to read, but I guess the bearish sentiment now is more in play. But it's very tricky on NQ at the moment. So we are just trying to frame a proper trade. And as a distribution trader, it's a little bit hard to read at the moment. How about yourself? So I really want, and I think now what I want to do is look for a trade. So I wanted to go a little bit more up and then maybe frame a trade in the next macro. And Q is my favorite asset. Yes. Just love-hate relationship this week a little bit, but I still love it. Added gold to the arsenal now, but gold is for me off limits until it gets out of that range. But hey, NQ is always there to never a dull moment, I would say, right? Tight stop, but order flow pushed me, but target is 39. Okay. But Kwang Chia, you can you play micro gold, or are you really doing the GC future contracts? Because hey, the micro golds are good enough for me, to be honest. Okay, let's see. I do think we're going further down. We're gonna go below the midnight and go into this. I do think we're going to go lower, but it might need some time. Let's see. Yeah, this is a tricky zone, Eugene. Why? Because if you take the weekly range and you take the 20 to 40%, you see you're exactly in it. What tends to happen is you get consolidation. So you see it's already going up, right? Yeah. Because a wick tapped into, you're exactly between the 20 and 30% of that weekly range. And once it gets in there, and especially on Friday, you get a lot of wicking back and forth in that range. It might get out of it a little bit, but once you get in it, that's why I said be careful. And it went straight back into that range again. Yeah. So just mark that 20 to 40% of the weekly range. Use this indicator. It's free, by the way. TGIF Dynamic Tracker. or you just mark 20 to 40% like I did here manually. And then, you really want to see either to leave it or just be careful in this area. Yeah, hey, nothing beats NQ, right? But anyway, a valid short up to, I believe, 234. If someone's in a short, I was dealing with some microphone issues and stuff like that, so I'm not focused enough to enter on my evals funded or something like that. So I'm just going over analysis and collecting intel. So for me, this level is very important. I really want to see, because this is an inversion I already have marked, and it's exactly OTE. And it's also my other, it's a 1/3 level that I graded. So I've got 3 confluences here. So I really want to see what happens here. And I'm looking more for a long. So just let this ride up and then to enter on a long, or just let it go up and then enter again for a short. I really want to see it go here. Then I really can trust the level a little bit better to frame a trade, because if you miss half of the move already, it's just you don't want to chase. So you either have to wait till the move is finished, or if there's a retracement, you can enter in the retracement. But yeah, so then what I do, I look for significant levels where I think it could stop or retrace, to enter for a short again at a better level, which gives me a good risk reward. So I'm a distribution trader. I just want to have the larger moves, but I'm going to practice to scalp more, to get better at scalping. So that's why I paper trade a lot sometimes, also to work on my executions for scalping, because yeah, I'm just not really interested in moves on NQ under 50 points, but I do want to change that a little bit. Yeah, I want to catch the short-term moves as well. So I love AMD, accumulation, manipulation. Well, here you can accumulation. Well, this was the manipulation move, and now we have the distribution. Why? Because also we have SMT here. There's no trade without. I do not enter my distribution trades without SMT anymore. I used to do that, but then always I get punished. But it is valid here. Boom! But you just have a retracement and then another one. This is beautiful. Twice the SMT here. But it was tricky to enter. It was tricky. And we saw how we all were like, oh my god, it's bullish now, and then we went back, it's bearish, it's bullish, it's bearish, back and forth. Okay, so we hit 25%, which is exactly that. So this could be the move to the upside, but I prefer it to go a little bit lower. I'm just gonna wait. We are in a macro. I think I want this level to be hit before I trust it. A little bit lower. Yeah, because we got a bearish fair value gap. We did engulf that fair value gap there. Is it enough? I cannot trust it yet. I don't trust it. There we go. Now when a macro starts, and I do see two down close, it starts with a down close candle. That's actually something I do like to see on for a bullish move. So the question is this the move up? I just don't trust it yet. Do we have S&T? No, we don't have S&T, right? Inversion, retest of the inversion. This is actually, I'm gonna paper trade this. Stop loss. We've got a retest of the inversion here. Let me just take 2R. It's just a paper trade, guys, just to warm up, because I didn't do anything yet. My stop goes here. Just a 2R, just to warm up. We're above midnight. We retested my. The only thing that I'm worried about is that we might go one lower. But we're in a macro. We already. I like it when we have 2 down close candles, but like I said, I just don't trust it fully. It's just a paper trade. We don't have S&T, so technically I don't enter a trade anymore without it. See, I'm getting punished already. No S&T. It's okay. Stop me out, because then I have to. I'll journal you. Because I already said it. I wanted to go one leg lower. I don't trust it, and I still went in. So, but it's only a paper trade. But hey, I feel the same pain. I did not listen. I should not enter when I don't trust it, and I said there's no S&T, and I don't enter. I also said I don't enter when there's no S&T. I'm a woman, so I can. It's my birthright to change my mind every time, but now I'm being punished. So this is what happens, then I journal it, and because when you have a leg like this, right? These are the 1/3 levels. Just they give me more confirmation, and I really wanted to see dig deeper into the OTE levels before making a retracement up. Hey, we still could be bullish, even if we go all the way down here. We could still be bullish on the day. So my stop wasn't correct. Okay. But I still don't trust it. So, you know, when I take a trade, I would love a breaker. I just took it off the inversion, which doesn't look very strong because we don't have a normal. Well, we do have a breaker here. So in a situation like this, you actually don't want to enter before the breaker is activated. So let me mark out. So when is a breaker activated? When you have a close over this body, right? So actually, this is just when the sort of turtle soup, I guess. Let me mark this one here. There's a potential breaker if we go over it, and then you want to have a retest. So you might have to miss them, like if you get a large candle out of it, you want to wait for the retest, but that might come later. So you have to have patience. I'm gonna change this. So as long as the breaker is not activated, I'm not interested in a long, but I do expect it to go a little bit lower before I am interested, actually. You see, we are at the 5. It's already 5 a.m. and we're halfway in the macro, and did not do much besides consolidating and tricking people. There we go. So let's see how it's going to react at the midpoint here, 236, or maybe even 0.5. Okay, and there's no breaker anyway. Well, let's see. Um, 1 hour, it's 5 o'clock. Oh, we got a new 1 hour candle coming. Okay. We do want a little wick inside here. No S&T. 5 o'clock. Okay, we're going lower. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this one now. Okay, so 5 o'clock. Yeah, it might run now. Let's see. It might activate the breaker now. Let's see. Yeah, so I do expect now, and we might get like a larger move to. It's going to use the rest of the macro for an upward move to 10 past. So I guess this is a long. Again, paper trade. I'm just using time. This is just time. Taking up to here, for example. Let's see. Because we did not go below midnight, we're above the first percent fair value gap. We did not activate a breaker. It most likely just wants to grab some liquidity before it goes further down. Just going into this fair value gap here. But we do have a Jebel's mark. We got equal highs here. I would just take it up to here. Quick scalp. Why? So it did tap the 25% of that level again. It's again in that inversion that I marked, right? We're above midnight again, and we're in that macro. So for me, it is just time. I'm just using. It's not like a big trade for me because, like I said, normally I want to have the larger moves, but this is just. I guess I'm starting. I want to practice the scalps a little bit faster and get into them, but everything lines up here. Time taps into this. I've got this level here, even though I wanted to see this level, but obviously we're just forming a wick on the 1 hour here. So I don't think it will go much higher than maybe even here. Maybe I should get out sooner, but we're just forming a little wick here, I think, to go further down on the 1 hour. That's what I think at the moment. So it's just the manipulation move of the 5 o'clock candle that I am actually playing right now, which I normally do on the 4 o'clock. But that didn't really present itself, or I was busy. But I might even have to get out here. But I'm thinking it should go a little bit higher. We still have couple of minutes to go in the macro. Let's see. I'm just trusting the macro here. Did I put my stop? So the breaker has been activated here, right? Because you got, did it? No, did not. Technically, it did not, and did not take the breaker yet, but let's see. So I'm literally just thinking, okay, if we're bearish, we're just forming a wick here on the 1 hour candle, and to go up, to go down. Are you not even going for the liquidity, my friend? It's going to go up here. I mean, it's such a little. So it's not even going higher, right? It's as you can see, I might be stopped out. It's just going into this wick here, so it's already maybe done with the manipulation move. So if you calculate that, might be not just, let's see. This is typical price. This is just horrible price action, to be honest. Yeah, 1/3 level. There you go. It didn't even go up to 0.5. But let's see, maybe we still have 2 more minutes in the macro. But it's very manipulative. So when I see a run starting after 1 past, I do give it a little bit longer than 10 past. I just, but it might just stop me out here because we created a BPR here basically. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go higher. It's not going to take that liquidity. I think it's enough. It already has here this liquidity here. Let's see, we've got 2 more minutes. See, price action like this, it's always, hello Abigail, how are you doing? Let me just wait for this trade to see if I'm being stopped out or if it's going to give me my TP. But I don't think so. I think it's just going to go down. Yeah, I don't have to stay in. Yeah, it's going to go down. It's going to go to this 1/3 level here. So it doesn't even take liquidity, but it went into 1/3 level of this candle, and it's just, that's enough to create that wick. Like I said, I'm just playing the manipulation move into this candle here. So that's a 5-hour, so the 5 o'clock candle, right? So even though I'm bearish, I just wanted to play that, but it was a little bit too high here. This was enough, and it was I use 1/3 levels a lot, and it was just 1/3 level, as you can see here, that I went into. So that I need to journal that. It was a paper trade, so I'm just warming up, guys. So you see exactly 1/3 level, boom. Not even the 50% that was the liquidity here. It didn't grab that. It might grab that in the next run, but it's very fickle. Abigail, hello, hello. You want to know my thoughts on gold? I can give you my thoughts on gold. Thank you, guys. I see some people have subscribed. Thank you, I appreciate it. I just want, like I said before, I want to see this candle go deeper into this level, and I don't like gold at the moment. Why, Abigail? I'm staying out because higher time frame, we're just consolidating literally. You go to the daily. This purple box that you see on gold here, that's a 4-hour inversion. So the whole week, literally only except on Tuesday we went out of it, but the whole week we've been in this area here, and it's this inversion that I have. Let me show this inversion here, this one here, 4 hours. So if you go on your chart on Thursday, 9 October, the 10 o'clock candle, that inversion, and you can see we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back. Now, even the area that is out of it, I still consider that a range that we are on the higher time frame, just going in, out, in, out, in, out. So I'm really waiting for it to break out of that range. Now, the area that we're in now is the TGIF range. So it already hit. Now, this is for me also an area I really don't like on a Friday. As you can see, it's technically the 80% range because we went all the way back into the range. But if you invert it, TGIF, it's 20 to 40 is exactly this area here. So for me, it is a no touch zone here because I just really want to see it either break out of it, either I want to see it break out of the weekly range now before I get interested again. Because this is for me really just, now there are good entries, but I just don't like it. Because I'm a distribution trader, and for me it's just ranging, and it's a higher time frame consolidation, literally. So even though there are moves, but it's just the way then it moves, I just don't feel comfortable with it. But there are still possible. Eugene is a very good gold trader. Maybe Eugene, could you touch on gold? How you see gold for today? But I'm staying out, and I'm hoping next week again that either I want to see a breakout. Like take these highs here. When I really see a good setup and it's really like you get a nice distribution run to take these out here, then I am interested again. Or if we get a nice move to the downside. What I did see on gold is this orange box, yellow box here is the opening range gap of, what day was it? Let me go here. That is the opening range gap of Wednesday, this week's Wednesday. We only filled it 50%. So I would love to see. Thank you, Navid, for subscribing. Hello to you. We went into the box, not even to 50%. So I would love if we go down. Then I might be in, if I can see a solid move, because look at this trend line here, beautiful. If it would start going down very fast, I would look into this area for a trade. That's my only interest for today, but then I really would use this opening range gap from Wednesday, which is only filled halfway. So that will be my interest, but to the upside, it needs to get out of this range. So that's why I'm more looking into NQ now. But NQ hasn't been very easy as well now. Look at this. Beautiful move to the downside. Yeah. Thank you. And welcome, Navid. Hello, hello. A lot of new people people here today. I see you've got quite some new names, and I do see that there is also some increase in the numbers as well. So welcome. Hello, hello, everyone. So very happy to see all of you here and hanging out together and finding a good trade and just looking at the charts, getting ready for New York as well. Haven't done any live trading today. This morning was just a little bit too unclear for me, but now I think I do think we are going to go lower and we're going to take out the we're going to make a new low on NQ. I do think everything is pointing in that direction right now. Now here in this area we hit 0.5 of a daily premium wick. I don't know if everyone here watched ICT's last few videos, but let's see if it's even disrespecting that now and going lower. Now, when I talked about the retest of time, so if I sometimes miss entries because either I'm talking or so how I also use time for entries is like if I see something like this, right? Midnight, we go below it and we see a wick going through it, boom. And then you can, because sometimes you're already a premium or discount and, you cannot wait. Well, you can wait, but sometimes you don't want to wait. You want an entry to still get on side, right? So you can use time as well as premium and discount. So that's how I also start using it more and more. Well, obviously, definitely on the down, we're going down, right? And I love wicks. It's a t-shirt coming, guys. Why? Because wicks give you a lot of clarity if you grade them. So this is a daily wick that I use, but now because I see we're going down into that wick, grade that as well and see if it touches if it respects any of these levels here. Now I see the 0.5 is sort of like my eye is on this one now here, this area, in this area here. So I do think we're going to get a preferably 0.5. That might set up for a nice long. But I guess it's almost a safe. I guess I would say, I think for the AM session, PM New York session, I think we might get some bearishness, unless we are getting such a strong reaction from here. We're going to go all the way back up, but I don't think so. Let's see. The 20%, the TGIF range is right over here. So if we are going to make a lower low, the range will come down, right? We will extend the weekly range. Let's see what will happen here. So now we are at the 79% of the OTE level. If we're going to go lower than this, the body, so we could make a wick to the downside, but then if we're going to get it, if we're going to go lower than this, we are really bearish because it's a full dealing range. This is the full dealing range that I marked here. Now let's see if we're going to react here. That could be, like I said, very exactly here, right? We're gonna main look 19. We're going up, yeah. Time is flying. So I do have it's 12. What time did I have a meeting? I just love this guy. I love tape reading, guys. I always forget time. I always have quite long. My streams are always, most of the times, longer than 2 or 3 hours. But I need to meet someone in 45 minutes. I try to have a social life a little bit, not only sit behind the screens nowadays, even though since I stream, I I make a lot of hours behind the screen, but I just love it. So I have 10 more minutes and then I need to go. But I'll be back later today. So yeah. So you see here, it reacts exactly around the the 1/3 level here, which is exactly also the 79 of the OTE levels. So I do think it's time for me. I cannot go into an entry anymore because I know that I have to leave anytime. But I do think that this might be an area for not a reversal, but maybe let's see if we're S&T. For a good reaction. But hey, if it disrespects this even and we go, this candle brings it down again. But I do think this might be, this is a strong level for let's call it a retracement. Let's see. What country are you in? Hey Nathan, I'm in South Africa. I'm Dutch, by the way, but I live in South Africa. I moved to South Africa because I love the bush, I love the animals. I used to do a lot of conservation work. But yeah, this is my home now. But I've got a Dutch passport. I'm from the Netherlands originally, but I'm not going back to the Netherlands. Look, I'm sitting in a t-shirt right now, and it's in the Netherlands. It will be very cold. It's cold here now for the time of year, to be honest. But yeah, where are you from? You can hear the South African guinea fowls in the background. No, I'm not in Cape Town. I'm in KwaZulu-Natal right now. Are you, Andre? You've got you sound, you could be South African, right? Oh, yours in US. Okay, nice. We've got people from everywhere. Hey, listen, we're very bearish. We're not even rejecting in this rejection block. Maybe we go to 50%. Let's see. We've got another level coming here. 191. So, hey, guys, we're bearish. Boom. I'm going to put that one away. Let's see if we can at least get a reaction here at this level, 191. Oh, you're in Iran. Wow. Navit. I love your name, by the way. Minayan. It's beautiful. Navit. I like that. Okay, so now we're in this large wick, right? Let me go to the 4-hour. Wow, look at this beautiful candle. What a move. This is a... I'm looking forward to this afternoon, my guys. I'm South African living in the UK. Okay. And I moved from Europe to South Africa. Here we go. Let's see. This is an important level. If it just disrespects this level, it's going to go for the low. We're going to make a new low here. Yeah. We might have a really, really very bearish day. Yeah, look at that. It's even now disrespecting the midpoint of this wick. That doesn't happen a lot. Okay. Let's see what the bodies are doing. So I'm going to have a coffee with a friend in a cafe that's called FOMO Cafe. You cannot think of that, right? So So I'm in KwaZulu-Natal in a small little beach town. It's very nice. But normally I live, Andre, I am actually based in Hoedspruit, but I'm temporarily living in KwaZulu-Natal. But yeah, I'm originally based in Hoedspruit area, in the bush. But now in KwaZulu-Natal, and going to FOMO Cafe to meet a friend. But hey guys, I had no FOMO today on stream, so I guess that's a big win. Yeah, I wasn't able to catch this move. I guess there was just I did try to take this little 5 o'clock manipulation move here, but on paper, and it did only go. It went to 1/3 level, not to the 0.5. Yeah, I know. I love the bush. But the only problem is the Wi-Fi. So before I go back, I have to figure out a way so I can stream in good quality without, yeah. We were a little bit, when we started the stream, it was a very unclear area because we could frame it both long and short. So that's why it was hard to frame it properly. And well, then there were some issues with the mic, I guess, and some stuff. So I have missed this move, but I'm totally fine with it. Why? Because it gives me a lot of clarity now for the AM session in New York, and yeah, I think we might get a nice TGIF today. I do think we're going to make a new low. We're very bearish, but then again, hey, it just could just go into this wick here and then retrace all the way back up. All possible, but at least we have now gone into this, and then once we go further down like this, we might go really low. So yeah, I need to leave it here. I wish I had not to, because I could sit behind the screens all the time, especially now in this area. It's very interesting to me, but I have to meet my friend. I haven't seen her for a long time. So I want to thank everyone for joining here today, and a lot of subscribers today. Wow. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm just in 2.5 months. So, I mean, it's such a nice journey and such a nice community that we're building already. So I hope to see you later today. I'll make a new stream. Thank you, Meta, and appreciate you and everyone else. And I hope to see you back later today. And stay safe. And be careful. Yeah, use these levels, right? Grade your wicks. Don't forget to grade the wicks. And make sure you have your TGIF levels on your screen. So just grade the weekly range. And if we extend lower, we make a new low. Obviously, you have to the range changes, right? You want those levels on your chart because that will give you a lot of information, especially now. So for now, bye bye, and I see you guys hopefully in a few hours again. Bye.